today is not just theoretical discussion. It's a basically practical guide. So exactly how I will create value for SD logistic from day one. I will walk through what you need and why this role is very important. How to execute technically, right? Let me walk through the slide. Next slide, right? So in this I'm talking here, you are not looking to pure data scientists or pure data engineers, right? You need a mix of them, someone who combine deep technical expertise with broad leadership capability. That's exactly what I bring here, you guys, right? So on the broad horizontal side, if you see, I have full stack engineering skills spanning like API front end development and cloud architecture across Azure and Databricks, Fabric, CI/CD pipelines, and containerization version control. But equally important, and I excelled as stakeholder and combinations of the team management and storytelling with the data, team leadership, and ensuring the data governance and PDPA compliance. And on the right hand side, I will talk about deep vertical side. My expertise include building computer vision model using YOLO, right, or ResNets, and developing forecast solution using with GBOs, LSTM, and implementing route optimization algorithm architecture, real time batch and data pipelines, deploying the scaling models with MLOps practice by delivering data practice in AI enterprise scales, right? Yeah, so this is what I'm talking. So next part I'm going to talk about here. The I have structured my technical, presentation based on what actually important for this interview, right? Which part we need to focus. So I divided here three parts: tier one, tier two, tier three. So tier one is 60%. So these are asked around in advanced SQL. So if you see the advanced SQLs, a window function with CTE, right? And then sometimes they ask, Pythons and pandas and for data manipulation, PySpark for big data processing engines. If you heard about for the cloud, they might ask the Azure services, which include ADF, ADS, Synapses, Azure's, and ML and Databricks with Fabric, and include using Unity catalogs and Delta lakes and so on, right? So this is the 60% focus. Now tier two is only 25% focus, which is the latest this deep dive into 2 to 3 ML AI framework, right? Which include like, for example, PyTorch, computer vision and time series forecastings, MLOps with Docker, right? CI/CD, MLOps with Dockers, and API development using Fast API. Fast API is very important, and data governance is also part of that. Data governance, PDPA, or mass compliance zone, right? Now, the tier three is 15% preparation time, and this is the latest technology which we talk about. This mentioned like LLM using Hugging Face, OpenAI with RAG architectures, right? And route optimization, or choose full stack and REST API and streaming with Kafka, right? So basically, SQL, Python, Spark, Cloud, ML, and deploy. Now let's talk about interview flow, right? There are 4 rounds. So let's understand interview processes for different round, right? So let's talk about round one. It's 45 minutes, right? Which include, hiring manager focus on cultural fit, leadership, and motivation. This is where I think we have to prove, or I prove, understand ST logistic and why I'm here. Round two is 90 minutes, where you need to technical leads, data team, and features live SQL, right? And coding and the architecture discussion, and there where we demonstrate. Round three, which is again, VP or director level, focusing on the system design, right? And business value, ROI. These are terms, but you can talk about. Now, round four is 45 minutes, if you see, right? And is a CTO, CEO discussion, information about are where I can post the. So this is where I focus. So now let's move to the first question, right? So they might ask you why ST Logistic, why not tech company, right? Since you work more so let me tell you, right? Not being a tech company, it's the features, not bugs, right? You are constant and data rich, means you every model I built which use measurable impact of the company. There is no my work is directly affect operation, cost, and customer satisfaction, right? So we can say here, like previously based on your domain, you can say I am saying like 2% improvement of route optimization, save up to 100K annually, right? 2% of optimize, and 15% improvement on demand forecast, reduce the inventory by 300K, for computer vision damage the detect the speed of claim processing by 60%, right? So this is the example, these are not hypotheses, these are the real opportunity ready to take, right? And career perspective, I think I can say like, uh, building data culture from the scratch is a leadership story. I want to write providing ROI operation, give the C-suite scalability that pure tech company can't offer. Not just looking the job, I'm looking to make the measurable impact. This is what how you need to say now. So this is the one question. Convince the C-suite star framework, right? So they ask you, how to convince them. So there is a one. This is example. Let me give you, concrete what I said. Example how I secure the by budget using the star framework, right? The situation was the operation team was using spreadsheet for demand forecast with 60% accuracy, resulting 2.3 million access in inventory. So this is the so this is the situation, and then what action I have taken. So if you see action, I took three meetings, right? I need to three strategic meeting one shows the pain point, right? Pain point was 2.3 million excess inventory. Meeting two is shows the proof of concept or proof of POC, demonstrating 80% accuracy versus 60% by manual. Meeting three need to show a roadmap, how going to show the roadmap for 3 months, 6 months, and 12 months, right? The result, the budget secured, deployed for a month, and you saving around 920K, right? So this is how you need to explain. Now the next question is round one. For the round one, managing moral, right? This is you are leading the team, so of course, right, let's I mean how to make this one. So let me give one example. Leading under the resource, and I mean under pressure, team require intensely strategy. Here is the three strategy, three part again, make, win, invest. Let's me talk each way. First, I protect my team, right? And uh, okay, and okay. So first, I protect my team. I'm with C-suite, my engineers. Every ad hoc request come through the first me, right? Come to me, and I negotiate timeline and scope before it reach to my engineer. The job is about chaos that can be focused built. The second part, make the win visible, right? So I run weekly demo Friday session with just 15 minutes where the someone shows what they really built, invite the stakeholder, right? And okay, and this session my team gets a credit, not for recognized beat the pizza. I mean, this is how like we recognize my team. The third one, invest in growth, right? So each time, uh, each team member get 4 hours to per week dedicated learning, certification preparation, side project, skill development. This is not optional. This product team like to products and learning the AI or new technology, because when my team grow, ST logistic also grow. So this is how I replies. Now next one is technical. It's a like coding top three warehouse by delay, right? So let me walk this one approach. SQL finding top three warehouse, right? So first I build CTE, delivery delay, right? So select warehouse ID, date difference, day in a day, schedule date minus actual date, and minus two week, the week, schedule actual date difference we found and multiply by do. So this one give me day, this give me week into two. So business day delay. So basically, calculate delivery delay, but critically calculating business delay, not calendar day. Logistic weekend doesn't count. So I twice number of the from week. So that's what I mean. Actually, it's in day, but I'm observing like removing days, right? And last 90 days, and then we just delay by average, and then doing ranking our business delay, and this is how the like very simple. Now this is round two, and the first question also technical round two. This is a real-time shipment tracking pipeline, right? uh, this is how they will ask how you do. So here is our I architecture real-time shipment tracking pipeline for ST Logistics, right? So it's a logistic company. So how do you do? IoT, GPS device, and partner API and barcode scan into the system, right? So that's how, like when you do logistics, the IoT, GPS, partner API, barcode, these are things, right? The source, these are source injection. So what I did, I inject event hub data which Kafka compatible, partition by region, and building 1 million event per minute. This is in Kafka, and we call the event hub from the Lambda architecture, right? Hot path real time and cold path batch, right? The Spark streaming 30 second macro batching, right? With window function, window and 10-minute watermark to handle late event. This is power in live dashboard, right? And then cold using Azure Data Factory injects to ADLC Gen 2, then Delta Lake and bronze, silver, and gold layers for daily aggregates report. And this is the dashboard, Power BI dashboard or Fabric using direct lake mode, auto refresh every 5 minutes, showing shipment maps, delay, and why this architecture. Okay, the Delta Lake provide ACD transaction critical for logistic, prevent duplicate and shipment, and Delta direct no for scheduling, so on, right? So that's why I okay. Now this is also round two, and it's very important. And I'm talking about round two. So explain Medallion architecture, tips. Medallion architecture is fundamental for modern data platform, right? Yeah, and so here is the bronze layer, right? It's a row append only data exact as come from the source. Schema can read with full audit and trial, nothing deleted and modify this, right? Just row append data from the source schema on read and full audit trial. Now branch is done silver, right? So silver, they're clean type data, deduction validated, and strong data type applied on business logic join. From there is where quality happen. Now gold layer is business ready aggregated star schema for analytics, KPI, table, Power BI, ML, ready features, right? This is how used for storage. I think everybody knows ADLC Gen 2 with Delta Lake, reliability and performance. Governance is Unity Catalog and Preview, Azure Preview is in Azure, and consumed by Power BI Dashboard or Fast API. So this is the question, right? Now let's talk about computer vision plus demand forecasting. It's a AI use case, right? Now I'm talking about, let me discuss the high impact AI. So the use case one, right? uh, Package damage using computer vision. So like package you are transferring from Singapore to Thailand, and somewhere it's damaged. And so phase one, data collection 5,000 labels image across five damage cases. Phase two, model using YOLO, ResNet 5 and transfer learning targeting map greater than 0.085. Phase 3, deploy the edge deployment on the Jetson device, which cloud sync architecture under 10 millisecond intense on the conveyor belt. Phase 4 is business auto flag. WMS generate a career liability report automatically, right? So this is the use case, and this is very important, right? Like demand forecast in a similar method. So here is feature, lags at T minus 1, T minus 7, T minus 7. So demand focus. Rolling statistics and calendar feature like Chinese New Year's, monsoon season, holiday, weather data, and product category. Model ensemble use profit 30% weight, seasonability, GB boost 50% for non-linear plot, LSTM at 20% temporal dependency, target is MAP under 15%. Deploy Databricks scheduling daily, reforecast with fast API, you know, and but both use case is a production. I think this is we need to focus more. I just prepare this one. I think I need to implement now. This is round two again. Governance, right? So as I'm talking, data governance is not optional in Singapore. PDPA compliance is mandatory, and here is what our zero contain the stop pipeline, identify blast, radius, revoke access. Right. So stop the pipeline immediately, identify the blast and the revoke access. This is our zero contents. Now our 1 to 4. Uh, 1 to 4 contract DPO and IT security under the PDPA. We must notify PDPC with 3 days if the breach is significant. And day 1 to 3 remedies. Here is PI using HSA to salt pulse data in cold table at PI scenario. And week 1 to 2 prevent, you know, implement column level access control using delta lags and 8 CI/CD quality. So in PDPA, Singapore required purpose of limitation only collect what you need. DPO required must to be the data protection officer, NRIC, phone number are, you know, important, right? Now Now this is the round three, and I haven't talked about round. I mean, these were the round two. So in round three, so me the ROI 500K investment, right? So let me talk about this. Demand forecast is 320,000 annual value, thought 40% reduction of excess inventory route, right? And optimization, route optimization, it's a 180,000 annual value with 12% reduction, fuel and hour time. Damage forecast is 95 or 60% faster claim, right? Using CV, okay. Automated reporting, uh, 75,000 value by filling the 200 analyst hour per month. Real time dashboard 60,000 annual value, so the 20% fewer. So total value is 720. 1 year ROI is 46%. 2 year is more than 100%, right? So this is how day, but this is one. Now let's talk about like where we have less weightage, right? So LLM integration logistics, right? Looking forward, how I will integrate, LLM into SD logistics. Use case, there is three use case you see here, right? A document processing, bills, bills of lending, customer forms, proof of delivery using OCR, full GPT-4, structure execution, auto population WMS field, and flagging exception for human review. And the second one is a neural language query. 50 people need to data, only three can write SQL. The text to SQL isn't over the gold table. On the time delivery rate is a, fif- this is what use case series anomaly explanation. When you dashboard shows the delay spike, right? Pull LLM, pull corrected data and generate a narrative. Delay spike correction with carrier X, vehicle shortage of plus Y flash sales. Technology stack: Azure OpenAI plus Azure Document Intelligence, OCR, Hugging Face, yeah, for customer find, RAG architecture, right? And this also I need to start more. So day one at ST Logistic 90-day plans, right? So I divided here three category, 1 to 3, 30, 30 to 60, 61 to 90. So in the day one, which is 30 days, So one-to-one meeting with every team member, a stakeholder audit all the pipeline, what run breaks and what manual sample tables were created at a quality. Day two, 31 to 6, quick win foundation, right? Fix the broken pipeline and CI/CD pipeline. And day three, launch, demand forecast, higher ROI. Yeah, this is my plan. And again, right, this is of course there is not easy, so we need to remember, right? It's There is technique called how to remember this thing, right? Front door, right? So round one, cultural fit, visualize ST logistics, a warehouse inside leadership, and some kitchen represent around two, right? Technical where SQL queries, cutting boards and so store parking. And third one is living room represent around three, design TV show architecture. And fourth room, of course, with the pilot 90 days plan. And 5 4 3 2 1 daily drill, 2 weeks pre-interview, draw modeling architecture, AI use cases, write SQL pattern, explain two models. Yeah. And again, Delta is Databricks, Event Hub, Lake, Transformation, and API. Crisp is context in logistic, a requirement, implementation, scale, production. PDPA is a purpose limitation, DPO required, personal, right? So, key, this is the things you need to learn. And yeah, so the